السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, dear friends, today we are discussing about major disciplines of social sciences. Firstly, we are discussing about anthropology. So when we look first definition of anthropology, definition of anthropology is it means to study of human beings and their ancestors in relation to physical character, environmental and cultural relations through time and space. It means that anthropology is to study about human beings. This is main thing. And another main point is it is related to time and space. Because if it is not related to time and space, we can call it also like if it is related to environmental, we can call it natural science. But when it is related to uh, time and space, that means we will compare each and every uh, kinds of environmental and cultural relations. That means how the environment was in past and how was in more past and how will be in future and how now present said things. So mainly to study about human beings and their ancestors in their physical in relation to their physical character. That means how was their physical character and physical character of our earth, and environmental features are studied in anthropology. This is the definition of anthropology. And next, we want to know the etymological definition of anthropology. That means the source of the word came anthropology. It is derived from Latin word anthropo and logia, which means study of humanity and science of human nature. And here we introduce the father of anthropology. The Franz Boas is concerned as the father of anthropology, who found the science of anthropology officially in 19th century. Here we are classifying anthropology into four. First one is physical anthropology and cultural anthropology and archaeology, and then last one applied anthropology. Now we are discussing about each of these four. Physical anthropology means uh, it will be in physical anthropology. We will deal with physical change. For example, how people were in past, and how people's color will differ according to their geographical positions in the earth, and such things are discussed in physical anthropology. And we also discuss about racial groupings of society. For example, in Africa, the people in there are black, and there is a group of people, and we in anthropology we will discuss about the causes of such type of groupings for or Indians. Such study about such special and particular groupings of society are included in physical anthropology. And study about fossils, this is also a main factor of physical anthropology. That means we all know about it. We scientists and archaeologists study about fossils under earth, and gave a study about how old was it, and assume many histories uh, s- uh, before 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 long age ago, histories like this using these fossils. And also a study about how much man adapted from his ancestors and how much he learned. This is main key point of physical anthropology. That means uh, to study about how much features and how much skills that human adapted from his ancestors, and how much of them he learned and he gained himself from the nature and from his surroundings. And here, related to this, we have to classify this physical anthropology into another three major categories. First one is paleontology and primatology and genetics. Paleontology is the study of uh, fossils and how fossils are formed, and study about fossils, and which helps us to know history, which is many years of ago. And second is primatology. It means to study about our long ago ancestors. It is as concerned in scientific narratives that our ancestors were chimpanzees. Such like things to study about them is called primatology. And genetics, it means that to examine which different genes of human beings and find how much of their features, their characteristics, and such like things have been adapted from our ancestors, and how much them are learned by themselves from surroundings. These are three major branches of um, physical anthropology. And next type of anthropology is cultural anthropology. It is related to social science, kinship forms, linguistics, material artifacts. That means in this cultural anthropology, the more importance will be to social science. It is connected to social science. In this cultural anthropology, we will never discuss about nature or another physical phenomena. We will discuss about social interactions of human beings, and how was their social organization, and how was their linguistic forms and material artifacts. And also we study about subgroups. That means we know that uh, uh, all community will have some subgroups that is particular and gathered in some special areas of countries. And we in cultural anthropology we study about subgroups. And thirdly, we will understand about cultural perspective, practices, and social organizations of different groups. The such means such likes we know that social Muslims are the social organization of a kind of group such. And we study about all practices and all about their cultural perspective of a society in cultural anthropology. And next classification of our anthropology is archaeology. It means to unearth fossilized bones and artifacts to learn about how people used it and changed their environment. It's simple. We have understood that archaeology is main part to know about history and such unknown things. It means that unearthed fossilized bones and artifacts. Fossilized, which is fossilized years ago, many years ago, we unearthed it. And also we unearthed some artifacts that was done by our ancestors, and learn about such things. And we assume how old it will be, and how would people use it and change their environment. Such things are discussed in archaeology. And there is another type of anthropology exists here. It is linguistic anthropology. It means study about how language works. It is simple, and but it is very complex when we get into its deeps. But we have no we have not to discuss about it deeply. We only uh, discussing about its peripheral. And linguistic anthropology is that, which means to study about language, how language works, how language differ from each places, each countries, and how it is formed, and how it is transmitted, and how it is mixed and formed in a new one. And such like things are discussed in linguistic anthropology. Next one, applied anthropology. This is the fourth one. In this, we will apply all other branches of anthropology. It means we have discussed now physical anthropology, cultural anthropology, archaeology, and applied anthropology, and also linguistic anthropology. These four branches of classification of anthropologists are applied in the fifth last one, which is applied anthropology. That means it's like we have studied many of things in all of this anthropology, and in a practical stage we apply all of these rules and these criteria and these ideas into a practical level, and we will apply it in our society, and we will find a new thing, especially particular to each of society. It means that anthropology in particular level, there's a mistake. Sorry, yes, but in yes, sorry, yes, that's correct. In practical level, by living in a particular society or group to study about certain cases. We know that when in our Kerala, some years ago, when Nipah virus was affected, and we were in very tragic situation. Then many of our scientists, anthropologists, went into such countries who controlled their peoples from this, who protected their peoples from this Nipah, and they study about what preparation have they done, their government has done, and to it is to practice those situations and preparations in our India also, such like things to live within people, and found how they are living, and study about it, and make a theory about it, and make a criteria, and write something about it, is called applied anthropology. This is very practical level of anthropology. So here we have discussed about anthropology and its major branches, and if you have any doubt, you can comment it please kindly on the comment box. And I expect that you have understood many about anthropology and its classifications. In a peripheral view, I know that I'm not gone into deep in all terms and uh, manners. So here we can conclude. جزاكم الله خيرا خير الجزاء. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.